Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today is a very important video because we will teach you 12 tenses in English in 15 minutes. And 12 tenses is all you have in English. So take your exercise books, get ready to write things down because this video is really important. Let's do it.
Back to San Francisco.
Our minds may change.
I am here with Benya today, and Benya is a professional English language teacher, accredited and really top level. So you're gonna get the best information today.
Very important information to share.
A lot of people think that 12 tenses is too much, but if you look at them in a logical way, it's actually really simple because you have present, past, future, and then you have different tenses on top. You have simple, you have continuous or progressive, you have perfect, and you have perfect continuous. But let me start with the simplest tense ever. You all use it when you talk about actions that always happen or never happen.
Everyday people do everyday things.
Basically habits or like routine, things that repeat, basically regular activities.
And I go to school every day. That's an example. He doesn't eat honey because he's allergic. So you can form this tense just by putting the verb in the first form. If you're talking about he, she, or it, you add s in the end.
He goes.
He goes to school. She sings every day. And we're talking about actions that happen either every day or usually or always. So these words, when you see them, they're gonna help you recognize the tense.
Yes. So basically all adverbs of frequency that you use, those are gonna go with your simple present. Always, never, regularly, often, never. Did I say never twice?
Maybe.
Maybe. Seldom. All of those basically frequency adverbs that we use.
And if you want to talk about action that never happens, the way you form the sentence is you add doesn't or don't. He doesn't eat, he doesn't go, I don't, etc.
Or you can just say never. I never brush my teeth in the morning. I never drink coffee at night. I never eat honey. You can also use never instead of that.
Never say never again.
Okay, the next one is past simple. And past simple is actually very simple. Wow, that was funny. Basically, you just talk about a single event that just happened in the past, and that's it. It does have a bit of specificity to it when you talk about certain things in the past using simple past, because that's the tense that requires the most details about the event that happened. So you're gonna say, I went to the movies. People are gonna expect more details when you say it like that. Like when, where, what movie did you see, with whom?
Answer my question.
Think of it as just a tense that you use to describe very simple, very, just easy past events, but keep in mind that people might inquire about some details of that event.
Can you give me the details? It's important.
So to form simple past, you're gonna want your verb to be in the second form, which is called a simple past form, a past simple form, however you like it. And basically, if it's a regular verb, you're gonna add ed, and if it's irregular verb, you're gonna use the second form.
And you have to learn them.
Conjugate the verb.
And if you want to talk about an action that didn't happen, you add didn't. He didn't go there. She didn't do that.
But she didn't do anything.
And this is basically it. So when you have didn't, your verb is in the first form. Okay. Simplest future tense that is really easy to form because you add will and then the verb in the first form. But you use this tense when you have a spontaneous decision. For example, you sit in a restaurant and the waiter brings the check and you're like, I'll pay.
I'll pay.
So this is a spontaneous decision. Or maybe you talk about actions in the future that you're not sure about yet, but you're planning. I will go to France in 2 months. I don't have the plane tickets yet, but we talked in our family and we decided that we're gonna take this trip. So I will go to France in 2 months.
There's a maybe there. Maybe I'll go to France. If you want to say maybe, if it just rolls off your tongue, that's probably simple future for you.
Let me say, maybe.
Let's go on to progressive tenses, and progressive tenses describe actions that were in progress. So we talk about longer actions.
And action!
The way you recognize this tense is by ing ending of the verb. Let's talk about simple progressive. I am recording this video. This is a present progressive tense that talks about an action that is happening right now. I'm making this video for you guys. We're sitting here together with Vania.
And the way to form that is your be form, so either am, is, or are, and your verb with an ing ending. We are filming. Are would be the be form, and then filming, verb plus ing.
In filming a movie here.
And another way to use this tense is to talk about events that are going to happen in the future and you're 100% sure. I'm going to Korea in a week because I've already booked my flight, I've already booked my hotel. There's like 99.9% chance that I'm going there. You can use present progressive to talk about events that are going to happen in the future.
Sounds fun.
It is fun. Will be in the future.
There are quite a few tenses that you can use to talk about different types of future. It's just a little more, it's a deeper level of complexity for sure, and we won't be able to cover it in this video. But guys, there's an announcement that we would like to make.
Attention, please.
We are starting a course, an online course together on English tenses. Everything you need to know about English tenses in all details.
Because Vania is he's like a tenses pro. So we're talking about this 12 tenses, but you're already noticing that one tense can be used in different circumstances. And in order to understand it, you just need to dive deep into English language tenses. So the link will be below. Please sign up and we'll see you during the course. And now let's continue with future progressive. And future progressive tense is used to describe events that are gonna happen for a long time in the future. I will be swimming hopefully in the Pacific Ocean in a couple of hours because we're in LA and it's really hot today. So I am describing an action that is going to happen for maybe like an hour or 2 hours, and I'm specifically concentrated on its duration. So I want to emphasize it's going to be a long action. So again, I use will and the ing form of the verb.
We'll be making the first turn in a few minutes.
And past progressive. Past progressive has the same idea, it's the same kind of function. You want to show an action that lasted for a long time in the past. Usually we use past progressive when we have two different events happening in the past. One starts and goes for a while, and then the other one interrupts it. That's the most popular way to use past progressive. So for example, I was showering when somebody rang the doorbell. So basically, shower took me quite a bit of time before somebody rang the doorbell. So that my long action got interrupted by a shorter one. So that would be the most popular way to use past progressive.
You came into my apartment last night while I was sleeping?
Okay, now we're moving to a group of tenses that is called perfect, and I'm gonna talk about present perfect.
Perfect!
I love what you said in one of the videos that we did together for this channel. Some people think that present perfect is a past tense, but it's actually not. It's present because it emphasizes the result of an action. I have showered this morning and I'm feeling fresh and clean, and I am concentrating on the result. I'm not concentrating on an action. It doesn't really matter if I took a shower at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or if it was a bath. I'm just concentrating on the fact that I'm clean, and the way I'm emphasizing this action is just talking about the events that I've done to get this result.
I've seen 3 movies in my life.
So, this is a very important thing. I just realized it after speaking English for like 20 years, and thank you so much for that. The words that point at perfect tenses are ever, never, since, already, yet. I have never been to Korea. I am concentrating on the result, and this is a present result. I have never visited this country.
Never been to a place like this.
Yeah, so basically the perfect tenses, they are not what they seem to be. So if you say, I have eaten, it doesn't really mean the actual event of consuming food, right? That would be your simple past. I have eaten has like kind of a subliminal message that says, I'm not hungry. That's basically when you say I've eaten to a native speaker, all they hear is I'm not hungry right now. Think about it like that.
I have eaten some mushrooms.
And the way we form this tense, we use the verb to have and our verb in the third form. So if it's a regular verb, we just add ed in the end. If it's an irregular verb, we just need to learn that.
4,000 irregular verbs.
So what I like about the perfect tense is that they all have the same set of tools and they just shift through space and time basically. So think about present perfect right now. Take that function and drag it to the past. And that's exactly what you're gonna get. Past perfect has a second street name. We call it past of the past. So when you have two events in the past and one of them was completed before the other one started, the first one obviously is gonna get past perfect, past of the past. Or it doesn't have to be a second action. It could be just some timestamp in the past. Let's say, this time yesterday, I had already eaten breakfast. So I'm just saying that yesterday at this exact time, I wasn't hungry.
Or you can say by a certain point of time in the past, like by July, I had already visited 12 countries, for example. So I'm concentrating on a result that was complete by a certain point of time in the past. Same thing with the future perfect. I will have been to Korea by September. So in September 2018, I can sit down and say that, yeah, I have this result, I have been to Korea. But because we're in August right now, I will have been by September. So again, by a certain point in the future, I will have some particular result.
So basically, when you want to talk about the results that you don't have yet, that's the one that you use.
But you know a certain point in the future when you're gonna have that result.
Of course, yeah.
Perfect.
There are certain moments in time.
And the last set of tenses. You see, it's really easy when you have this mathematical structure, when you have this table in your head and on the screen as well. So we're going to the last column, which is perfect continuous.
Or perfect progressive.
Or perfect progressive.
How you want
whatever
to call
you
it.
call it.
These are the easiest ones. Congratulations. So basically the main goal of those is to summarize time spent doing something. If it's either in the present, past, or future. So let's say you're doing some kind of activity and it lasted for a while, right? And you're so proud of yourself that you just want to take a moment and be like, look, today is my anniversary. Today I have been learning English for 9 years, right? You're just so proud that you really want to emphasize time spent on that particular activity. And today's the day, right? That's present progressive.
I have been waiting for this for a long time.
Past progressive is exactly the same, but today's my 9th year anniversary. But this time last year was my 8th year anniversary. So I want to say, look, remember this time last year? I had been learning English for 8 years only. So naive, so little, so young, right? Same thing, just at a different point in time.
Had you been drinking?
And then we just drag it to the future, same thing, right? So by, let's say this time next year, I will have been learning English for 10 years. So basically you're kind of like pausing your event for a little bit and taking this moment to like just take in and congratulate yourself on the time spent doing a certain activity, if it's, present, past, or future. And the way to structure that is pretty simple. So present perfect progressive, you're gonna say, I have been learning. So it's gonna be have been and your verb with ing added to it. For the past progressive, it stays pretty much the same. You just have to change have to had to indicate the past. And for the future, it's the same as present. You just add will in front of it. I will have been learning to indicate the future.
In our course, we're gonna dedicate the whole lecture for every single tense that we just described. And we're gonna go into more details, into more examples. We're gonna give you homework so you could work on it. Because for me, when we're talking about grammar, practice is everything. Like when I don't know how to use the tense, what I do like 100 exercises and then it's just, it's just me. I don't have to think about it. It's somewhere in my brain all the time. So this is what we're gonna do on the course. Do a lot of exercises, a lot of practice, a lot of explanations. So if you are interested in learning English language tenses and becoming perfect in your English, so we will see you during that course. The link is below. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please hit subscribe. There's a red button below, and like this video if this content was useful. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned something. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.